Hello everyone, this is Shannon from That's So Po, and today I'm doing a review of M is for Monster by Talia Dutton. This is a 2022 release sci-fi horror graphic novel that I thought was doing just amazing work, so I want to tell you all about why I loved this so much. So first, let me tell you what this book is about. So this story follows Frances, who is a scientist and very unorthodox in the way that she approaches things. And after a lab accident kills her sister, Mara, she decides she has to bring her back, very much kind of like Frankenstein's monster, with sewing the pieces of the body together, that sort of thing. And when she brings her back together, the person that wakes up isn't quite Mara, doesn't have Mara's memories and doesn't have the same kind of personality, but this person, M, is trying very hard to fulfill Frances's expectations of her acting like Mara and being like Mara and trying to fill those shoes. So now let me tell you what I loved so much about this book, starting with the artwork. I love graphic novels, and my favorite thing is when you have just beautiful artwork that adds yet another layer on top of the storytelling, and I think that that was done so well in this book. One, the artwork is just so beautiful. It has these green tones that are absolutely gorgeous, but it also has just so much movement and so much emotion. You can see what the characters are feeling, and the illustrations are often used to really show what's going on inside of their heads. It's gorgeous illustrations, and I just thought it added so much to the storytelling. I also thought that the sci-fi and horror elements of this story really did what I love in speculative fiction, which is that they used this speculative element to explore some deeper themes. So we have Frances, who is this scientist who likes to do all kinds of very different experiments, really is constantly pushing the envelope and is so excited to see what can be done, maybe even beyond the realms of what people thought could be done. But there's big questions of what are the consequences of that? Does she even think about the ethics or the danger of what she's doing? And when she does run into those consequences, how does she react? How does she cope with that? And just since we're getting so much of the story from M's perspective, what does it feel like for the people who have those experiments done on them, who have to deal with those consequences? So I just loved the way that the sci-fi horror elements were used to explore those other deeper themes. I also thought this book did such a good job of exploring just themes of identity and of family expectations. M, who is brought back with all of these expectations placed on her by Frances, is really struggling. She wakes up not knowing who she is, and as she moves forward with Frances telling her who she is, and realizing that that doesn't quite mesh with actually what her taste is and what she wants, she has to battle with that, has to figure out when she needs to conform to these family expectations in order to be accepted and loved, and when it's more important to her to be who she's finding herself to be. And that real coming of age and exploration of identity I thought was so well done. And lastly, the themes of grief and guilt are just really strong in this story. Frances is struggling so much emotionally because she feels so much guilt over her sister having died, and that prompts her to be really motivated to bring her back rather than face any sort of grief or kind of acceptance of the consequences of those actions. And just seeing her process those emotions, seeing her struggling, wanting to fix, wanting to bring back her sister because of all of those uncomfortable emotions inside of her, and how she has to learn how to cope with things being different, not being able to get back what was there before, is actually a really beautiful journey. Overall, I think that M is for Monster does everything that I want in a graphic novel. It has incredible artwork. The storytelling is so well done and so bolstered by the artwork itself, and there's just such excellent characters and themes and really cool speculative elements. So I definitely recommend this one if you haven't already picked it up, and I believe this is the debut graphic novel by Talia Dutton. So yeah, this is fantastic. If you guys have read this, I would love to hear from you. If you're interested in it, if you want to talk to me about it, if you want to suggest other graphic novels that you think I would like, I'd love to hear from you. Just leave me a comment down below.